G'day, g'day. Today we're going to talk about the Hetzer. And in fact, I'm going to talk about the Hetzer KAME SP, which was actually an event tank some time back, and there was a whole bunch of enemy tanks given away, and this was one of them. But it is still relevant for the actual Hetzer itself, which is available through the German TD line, which runs all the way up to Jagdpanzer E100. Which is a fantastic tank in itself. I need to do a video on that actually. But this little guy here, in my opinion, if you're just starting out, or even you've been involved for a little while and you haven't played non-turreted TDs too much, this is a great tank to learn how to hone that craft, because it's actually got a decent gun on it, and I'll explain the gun I'm running on this tank, because you only have one gun option. But on the other standard Hetzer, you actually have a couple of options. But I'm actually running this this gun here, and it gives you the opportunity to take shots. It's got a very accurate gun on it, does good damage. The sloping of the armor on the Hetzer allows you to bounce some shots too. And it's a fairly mobile tank for a tank destroyer. So it can really teach you some of that stuff. And you see what I'm doing here. I'm just using these rocks for cover. I'm constantly keeping an eye on where the enemy is, because where you will get wrecked in a Hetzer is from the rear, and even from the sides where the armor is super thin. So in this regard, what I'm just trying to do is keep cover here and keep an eye on where all the enemy is, and stay behind these rocks for cover, wait till I reload, and then take a shot. And you can see that I'm in a little bit of trouble. The other thing that at the moment I'm in a bad way is that I'm actually sitting in water, and no matter what tank you're driving, by sitting in water actually slows your ability to maneuver out and about. So I am caught in a little bit of a bad spot here, but you can just see I'm just working off these rocks. Our team's got the ascendancy here now, and you can see this guy's come around the PZ. He wants to finish me off, and I've got to react. You can see how he gets me in the side. He's had enough of me, and he really wants to do that. So now what I'm going to try and do is face hug him, but you can see I just can't maneuver enough. But the armor is good enough to bounce. I've got a few bounces in there, and I just held them off. Hang on a little bit shortly too, because I'm going to run you through a mastery match in this game. So it's at the end of the video. But you can see with that, we've done good damage, top scored, and all that sort of stuff. But I run Gun Rammer with this thing. I also run improved modules, and I do that because of the tracking and things like that. And I also run Camo Net, which is a little bit strange, but if you look at the optics, they're absolutely pathetic. Even with advanced optics, you're only getting 223 range, so you're better off being in cover and staying with your team, allowing the team to do the spotting for you and picking them off from there. So on this tank, you only have the 7.5 centimeter gun, the PAC 39. On the other Hetzer, you have the option of going to the 10.5 gun, and you can see the difference is the rate of fire. So you got 6.8 rounds rate of fire in the KAME, and you got the 3.79. So it does more damage, but with less rate of fire, it's a big problem. So I'd recommend running the 7.5 gun. I know the other one's a big derp gun, but man, at the end of the day, when you've got better gun statistics from a 7.5, I'll be running that. Now this is a mastery match, I believe. I think it's the mastery match, yeah. And what we had here was another Hetzer as well. So there's two of us on one team, and there's a lot of really good tanks on the opposition. The AMX 40 is traditionally hard to pen. It's got great armor and things like that. But what I'm using here is I'm using the hull down method, which is the lower part of the tank is the weak part, and I'm using this bank here to only expose the top part of my turret, or the tank itself. Really, it's not really a turret, and being a non-turreted TD. So what that's allowed me to do is bounce a couple of shots there, and actually be confident. Now I'm looking at the map, and it's really important in a TD to keep your eye on the map. So it's another thing that the Hetzer teaches you if you're looking at just getting into TDs for the first time, I'd actually play this tank a lot if you really want to get some use out of it. Now, I found an AFK, which is he's sitting there, not started the game. I put a shot in, and all of a sudden I've got another tank on my right that's appeared. Out of nowhere, really, obviously hiding down there in the dip. My goal is to get rid of this AFK tank quick. Reason being is I don't want him waking up while I'm turning and facing the other guy on the right here and hitting me in the side and the back. So it was purely about that. I see this other Hetzer pushing up, and then I realise, hang on a sec, we're better off actually just coming back this direction and hitting him from the other side. So this is where this gun, the 7.5 centimeter gun, comes into it, because you'll see the rate of fire. If I had the big derp gun there, I may have done big damage, but then I'm left on a long reload. So what I'm going to do now is push around this side here, and I'm not going to go too far. I just want to try and get shots in on the opposition while they're engaged on our flank. And I don't want to expose myself and leave myself open, but at the same token, I want to be able to get a lot of shots in, do a lot of damage, and help support our team. And currently we're one tank up, which is great, but I need to be able to do some more damage here. So I'm just looking where I can get a shot and not leave myself too open. They're currently not focused on us. This team is focused on the guys who are still left on this side, but you can see now it's now one tank all. And look at our other Hetzer over on the right here. The mistake he's made is he's left himself vulnerable. I'm still working off these pipes, trying to get shots in, and helping him. That shot there did a lot of damage because we set him on fire, and I'm keeping an eye on where the others are now because it's getting critical. Now this AMX is obviously, these guys are in a platoon. They're going to be working together, and I realise that, so I keep working off these pipes. I realise the other Hetzer's gone, and my boy who I'm platooning with, he's only 6 years old. He's come to the rescue in his AMX and done some distracting, but you see the bouncing I'm doing. And now what I'm going to do is face hug, which is I'm using the front of my tank there to push up against him where he has not got the opportunity to do damage on me. Again, I knew that guy was coming up in the other AMX, and what I did was I pushed over to the side to keep my armor profile the best. And the other thing you can do is wiggle back and forth to try and bounce those shots. Now, move back, shoot, move back onto him, so he's got nothing to shoot at. Yeah, he did some damage to me there, but I'm minimizing his ability to do damage on me. And the gun, look at the gun work, 132 damage there, and I just keep pushing this guy. Another bounce shot. He's be getting very frustrated right now. I keep pulling back, shooting, and come back onto him again, and we just keep doing damage. And what I'm looking for is the kill shot, and that's it. And that's the mastery match in the Hetzer KAME SP. Great tank, really love it. And it's a good tank to actually get a lot of experience in with non-turreted TDs. And let's face it, there's some really cool non-turreted TDs in this game. So get into it, enjoy it. I hope the video has helped you understand, because I really love this thing. 77% win rate in this tank, so love it. Get into it. See ya.